Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. I should be called the excuse eliminator. I'm enunciating so that it's clear what I'm saying. I eliminate all excuses. Why? Because when I first went through my custody battle, I was by myself. I had no help. I did not have a resource like me that's available for you right now. I did not have a James Christensen type of advocate in 2001. I went into court hearings where I'm outnumbered. Let's see, the mom, her sister, Abelia Braza, Mary Solscheid, Sister Yvonne for her co-worker. 5-1. The court system's against me. The bailiff is flipped me attitude at a restraining order hearing. I'm outnumbered 7-1. I might have a witness there. The guy who taught me what I know at that time or learned, he taught me this much stuff. Here's Civil Rule 7. Here's the book on civil rules the civil rules of practice in Washington State. Here's the book. I had to get a book. I don't know if the rules were online at that time. It doesn't seem like it because I was working off of that book. I got enough stuff to get out. He gave me a starter block to get out of the gate or out of the starter blocks. And then I was on my own. He hadn't been to court for like 15, 20 years. He was out of touch with how the courts operated, but he gave me a couple of basics. And that's it. I'm giving you guys packets of winning motions, of trial briefs, of defense against a guardian ad litem's report, defense against restraining order packet, of arguments that's worked for father after father after father. I fought off 7 attempts over 20 years of the mother trying to get a restraining order against me. She really kind of did seven attempts in about, how long she did? For about 7 or 8 years. So like one restraining order attempt a year on average at first. And then she just totally gave up on trying to do that. Now, hers were ridiculous. The first one, she had a legitimate chance because we were talking and arguing, and she still didn't win. I fought off a domestic violence protection order from a chick that I got a restraining order against, and she tried to retaliate 4 different times and lost and lost and lost. This one hater, Rooster Rants on YouTube, he's saying, I just got lucky. How did I get lucky? Over and over and over and over. And then in the Court of Appeals twice against an attorney with 50 years experience. Go look at my winning orders. Go look at a transcript of one short period of time where I hired a lawyer later on in my case. I was worried about going to trial. When we went back for a modification, the mother had me tied up in court for a year and a half. That lawyer, he let me do all the paperwork, coached him on what to say. He really was just a mouthpiece. And he was able to bully the mother's attorney back in the court hallway, and it didn't reflect on me. And he talked major smack to the guardian ad litems, one guardian ad litem after a hearing, and taunted her in the court hallway after I won, saying, look at how much time you're wasting and all this other stuff. So, I'm trying to remember how old that whole 34. So he's like 36, 37, 30, probably 38 or something like that. I think he's like 3 years older than me, 4 years older. Anyway, he gave me a huge discount because I did all the work. So, but then I realized I don't need an attorney for any of this stuff. And right before that, I hired an attorney, got an attorney favored through a friend. Only cost me $500, and he went in just to settle. Oh, good news, they want to settle. I didn't want to settle on their bull crap. See, I had somebody who pushed me to settle. I followed my conscience again. There goes James doing the rebellious thing of not surrendering, compromising, or settling for something that will torture him until the kid is 18. I had several opportunities to settle, and I said, no way. That's why I've been through everything that you guys have been through, and I didn't give in. And I was all alone until that short period of time I had an attorney, and that attorney was pushing me to settle. And the second attorney, he was on board because of how great my paperwork looked and how I won this and won that. When the mother tried to get back in the kid's life after a year and a half of abandonment, I went and got an emergency restraining order, and then he came on board, and he finished the job for a minute, and then we went to court a couple more times, and I'm sitting here briefing him on everything, and a judge, or family law commissioner, said, you know, James's attorney, Mr. Bartow, briefed us very detailed in the court. What do you have to say, guardian ad litem? And my attorney said, actually, James did the work. He's the one who wrote it. He goes, oh, maybe law school should be the next step for him. So I show you that transcript to show you I know what the hell I'm doing. I have attorneys buying stuff, packets in my store. I have attorneys conferring with me about what would you do in this situation or that situation. I have attorneys I've worked for at law firms where I'm sitting there telling attorney, when I was at McKinley Irvin, we'd have team meetings and I'd throw out ideas and stuff. And attorneys say, well, why would you do that? And I said, well, it makes more sense because this, that. And they're like, oh, that makes sense. I feel real stupid now because this legal assistant is telling me. The fact that I have one single hater out there among dads who need help is asinine. But it's not surprising because my gender is a bunch of pansies. And when I eliminate your excuse, oh, I'm scared, oh, the system, oh, this and that, oh, the judge is against me. I had a bailiff give me an attitude the first time I walked into court. All I was doing was handing him paperwork to give the judge their working copy. Sit down and calm down. And then he's like, move out of the way. Ma'am, did he give you a copy of this? Yes, he did serve me yesterday. Okay, sit down and calm down. Right from the jump. I was falsely accused before I got custody, around the time I got custody. Afterward, the guardian ad litem tried to get me to sign up for domestic violence class. And the law, and she was going to put in there, if James doesn't follow through with all the domestic violence treatment, the mother can motion the court to change custody without a change of circumstance. She was waiving the law, which she can't do. I had an extremely corrupt guardian ad litem. So your pussy-ass excuse, oh, I got a guardian ad litem who doesn't like me. I got this person who doesn't like me. This person. I have all that. And I was all by myself before I got custody. Then, when I went back to court, I was still all by myself because my attorney was on board for a minute, but I was doing all the work. And a lot of you are doing all the work when you have an attorney. So why are you even doing it? Why are you even paying them? Why do you even have an attorney if you're doing all the work? A lot of you are doing most of the work. Proving what I'm talking about. You could do this without an attorney. The reason why a guy like Rooster Rants comes on board and says, you need at least 50. He called me a hustler and a con because I'm charging people for my time of providing a service. Think about that. A man complaining that I obtained this knowledge through blood, sweat, and tears, and I'm saving you thousands of hours. I'm sharing with you how I did it and giving you shortcuts, and I can't charge for that? A man complaining about another man. Only welfare moms complain about they should have free handouts for stuff because they're entitled to it. You guys are telling, when you guys hate on me, you're telling yourself, I don't get offended or hurt that somebody, the last guy I was arguing, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I got your ego, your sensitive ego and panties in a bunch. You're not offending me at all. I'm just outraged that my gender is such a bunch of sellout traitors that they will lose in court, not try to fight for their kid, and then make excuses. And then when they're confronted with somebody like me, I didn't have the big bad attorney you did. I didn't have the internet, and I didn't have Zoom meetings. I didn't have e-filing. I had to run around and take time off of work to go to the courthouse and file and pay for parking and go to Kinko's and go to the law library and read this case law. You got case law at your fingertips. You have absolutely no excuse from being your own attorney and learning everything you need to know to fight for your kids. You just don't want to. It's too, I got a job, I got a career. You have kids. You put your stuff up in some woman's stuff and created kids, and you don't want to own it like a real man with testicles. Excuse. Well, I did that. It's scary and intimidating. I did that. I'm nervous getting in front of court. I was nervous the last time I went to court. I had been to court 50 different times. Court of Appeals, District Court, Supreme Court. Still get nervous. But then once the juices gets flowing, then it's just like a basketball game or something that you might got nervous, or a job interview. So what? Oh, my comfort is more important than fighting for my kids. You're worried about your nervousness and your discomfort and confronting people and stand up for yourself because it might hurt people's feelings. So you care more about everybody else except your kid. You're a sellout. You got what you deserve. You don't have any excuse to not fight. Every single excuse you had, I went through and I didn't use it.